Hakuna rais ameenda kwa miaka 5. Kwani huyu ndiye atakuwa wa kwanza? Kama tunafanya nini? Kama tumelala wapi? Kama nini imefanyika? Kwani Kenya ni yenu? Mjue William Ruto aende mahali. Makawas.
I saw what the Honorable Kamket said, and also the Honorable Oscar Sudi. The truth is that we know now that they understand that this thing, it is irreversible. Now the damage that this government has done to its own reputation is irreversible. They know that there is very little that can be done between now and 2027 to reverse the fortunes of this regime.
In every political formation, there are specific people that we expect if they speak, they are either speaking the mind of the master, in this case the party leader, or they are speaking their minds with the blessing of the party leader. How are you seeing it?
I'm super cool.
Yes.
And we've just heard what the likes of MP Sudi and the people who are forming part of the Kenya Kwanza government, who they are speaking concerning the 2027 election.
Yes.
And it's raising an eyebrow across the nation.
Yeah.
And we are questioning ourselves that what is really the government trying to speak to the people of Kenya? Is it about they are planning to rig the 2027 election and they are saying it publicly, or are they trying to communicate some form of threat? Are they trying to divert the attention? Because we've seen that the government is into abducting and maybe abducting the youths who are participating in the social media criticism of the government. So is it that the government is trying to divert our attention, or what's the intention?
My take is this. The government is trying to fight online criticism at all cost. And they are looking at it, and you realize that everything they say towards it only escalates and makes things worse.
Hii matusi yote rais wewe ndio ulileta kwa hii Kenya. So hapana lalamika, is what you started. Hii ya kutukana nani? Wewe ulituambia Uhuru Kenyatta ni mlevi. Ukatuambia Raila ni mchawi. Ukatuambia nini? Sasa wewe ndio umetuma hivi vijana wanatukana watu. Sasa wewe na watu yako ndio umefundisha watoto wetu kutukana. Na hii maneno ya kuwekwa jeneza, kwani mnaogopa kifo namna gani? Mtakufa siku moja. Mnapiga kelele ati umewekwa jeneza. Hata ungewekwa jeneza, kwani umekufa? What is the problem? Mnaleta shida mingi. Mtakufa siku moja. Kwa hivyo hata kama mnaogopa kifo is a natural thing. It will come. It's part of life. So hakuna haja tuue watoto ati wameweka kwa jeneza kwa sababu hujaingia huko. Siku Mungu atafika atakuweka. That time will come. So let us not kill our children and abduct them because of caricatures na nini watoto wanacheza pale na simu. Lakini hii kuweka wewe kwa jeneza na hii matusi ya Malim, which is worse. Siniwe huyo mheshimiwa.
So you can see that they have become irritated, agitated. The young Kenyans on social media have succeeded in getting under their skin. If you go to a function and speaker after speaker is only talking about social media and curtailing the freedoms of the young people, lecturing us about respecting other people. And yet these are some of the vilest politicians on the mic. They themselves cannot show you the respect that they want other people to show them.
So I see this as a possible diversion of attention from the online criticism to people concentrating on the 2027 elections. So that as they abduct people, people don't now concentrate on the abductions. Because there's this young man who was abducted in Fedha kwa ndege. And people are not talking about him. People are concentrating about what Oscar Sudi and the likes are talking about when it comes to 2027 elections. So it's a diversionary kind of tactic. Again, I'm looking at it as a way of making people push for IEBC, which in this case, it seems Ruto and his people have maybe found a way or something that they are yet to do when it comes to 2027 elections. And then they don't want it to be seen as if they are now making IEBC because they have grounds and maybe they have things they are planning to do. But they are doing this to make people feel like, oh, we need IEBC so that things are streamlined earlier. And then they now form the IEBC with the assumption that it is the people who have pushed for it. But in real sense, it is not the people who have pushed for it. It is them who have designed something behind the curtains and then making it look like it is now a pro-people pressure. And then after people have pushed with all the pressure, then they now form the IEBC. But back in their mind, they know what they are going to do.
And you know, the statement that these people are making, they are not just light statements.
Yeah.
They're very dangerous political statements. Like speaking publicly, and your person who is holding office and is part of the government speaking about rigging elections, and even making maybe statements like if maybe the votes are not gathered enough, they'll add the votes. And also some speaking about the previous governments that the regimes, that the period that these people had to be in power.
Yeah.
And even William Samoei Ruto, when he was speaking in church just yesterday, he was just trying to say, he was in a way maybe trying to speak against what the people said, what his allies said, and also in another way also trying to support it, because he was saying that previously they said I won't even get one term, and here I am. So he's just trying to say that maybe people are speaking that I'll get just one term, and what I know in the back of my mind is that I'll still move, I'll still get second term, and maybe what his allies is saying that they can even extend it if they will too. So what does this say to us?
Kuna watu wanaongea mambo ya one term, two terms, three terms. Mimi nataka niwaambie, mimi pale nyuma kuna watu hata hawakufikiria nitakuwa na any term.
You know, first of all, Ruto is a very cunning politician. And it's true. People said he won't make it to become the president. Because then a sitting president had a candidate who was not him. And was even trying to talk ill about his candidature. But against all the odds, he made it there. By all means he could. He made it there. Again, there's one thing that we must just be sure of. Oscar Sudi cannot speak on such a serious matter without the blessings of Ruto. It's like telling me that Sifuna speaks about something that is a very serious issue to ODM without the blessing of Raila.
Sure.
So every political formation, there are people who, when they speak, it's the master speaking. So for Oscar Sudi and the likes to speak about this, it means Ruto has a hand in it. And I'm looking at it this way. You know, if you look at how Ruto has been handling his things in the recent past, for example, let's talk of the Finance Bill 2023 and even Finance Bill 2024. Ruto comes up with something that is not there. Maybe let's say he talks about we are now going to tax bread, we are going to have an eco levy, we are going to tax online, like let's talk of now the online content creation. We are going to maybe tax about 15% of online creation. And then there's an uproar, people complain everywhere, left, right and center, people are complaining. Yeah? Remember, it is not Ruto who has spoken about it. He has maybe sent the chair of the budget committee to talk about now on our next year, we are going to, on the next finance bill, we are going to have ABCD. Ruto is silent, but remember it is his making, right? But people see it as if it is the MP's making. So once there are complaints all over, complaints left, right and center, Ruto comes. And then he now behaves as if he is now giving a solution and tells you, now we are not going to tax 15%. We are going to tax 5%. So people celebrate. Oh, he's a listening president. He has listened to us. And now he has moved. Oh, 15% was a burden. So it is now 5%. When in real sense, there was no tax before. Even that 5% was not there. So I want to believe when these people are talking about rigging 2027 elections, there's something Ruto is testing.
Okay.
There's something he's testing. And therefore, at the end of the day, he would come and emerge as a hero.
Again, aside that, we see something also stinking badly in the spheres of politics when we had Sudi speaking recently in a public rally when he says that Gen Z ni wale wakora wa Nairobi, and also mentioning that maybe these people think that it is them who should lead, and he's telling the public that it's us also are also capable to lead, and we are also here to lead. And is it a question that Sudi is trying to fight some group of people? Is it the Gen Z Sudi is speaking about, or is it that there is a tribal war maybe he's trying to wage against the Kalenjin people and the mountain people? What's the game there?
Two things. You know, Kenyan politics is based majorly on ethnicity. So, and this government believes fully that the Gen Z movement, and even because you see it started as a Gen Z movement, then millennials joined, and now it's even the older generations, they believe that there's someone behind it. They believe that someone is financing it. And that's why last year you had the president come out and say, oh, there are politicians who are funding this. You even saw Wanjigi being arrested. Later it was Gashagwa. After some time it is now Ford Foundation. They don't have a stand, but they seriously believe that someone, or there's a force behind it. There's somebody who is funding it. Again, you know, there's this tribal war. We just discussed in our previous episode that there's a serious uprising in the mountain against William Ruto and this regime. So with that in mind, Oscar Sudi is trying to tell us that the Mount Kenya is against William Ruto's way of doing politics because they believe it is their one. It is one of their own who should be at the helm of the Kenyan politics, which in this case is not true, because if you look at it keenly, it is not only Mount Kenya, which is against the Ruto's regime. All the way from Busia to Mombasa, from Vanga to Waturumo in Homa Bay, all these people are against Ruto's regime. It is just a few people who are still his choir masters, and those who are maybe trying to protect their interests, who are still praising him.
Mimi ni chairman wa ODM. Tunasikia wengine wakiongea. Hiyo ni maoni yao. Sisi tuko kwa broad-based government 100%.
Your Excellency, some people are saying that you are one-term president. I want to tell Your Excellency that as long as you are with God and you are with Baba, I don't think you'll be one-term president.
And again, do you think it is really possible that Ruto is playing politics, that he wants to sacrifice some of his people? Maybe he's sending these people out to the public, they speak ill of the public, or maybe the needs of the public, then later he sacrificed them out of his government, maybe the CSs, like we had Justin Muturi. Maybe is it a strategy that Ruto is trying to forge out, maybe to win the mountain, this person sacrificing out the government, then he organizes a way that they are also rebelling against formation of the party that Rigathi Gachagua is forming. Is it a political play also?
You know, with Justin Muturi, there are two things. It's either Ruto is trying to use him, and then if it is Ruto using him, Ruto will sack him publicly, and then he will be sent back to the mountain to fight Rigathi Gachagua force. So Ruto will use him, as if he's sacrificing him, and then send him back home to fight the Rigathi Gachagua wave. So he'll be there again. No, I was also sacked, also looking for sympathy, and then makes his own formation. Then by the time we are getting to 2027 elections, he then tells people, I'm siding with William Ruto for ABCD. These are the reasons. And maybe bring some tangible according to, because, you know, politicians, they just try playing around with people's minds. It is either he's serious about what he's doing, and so will resign, or maybe he's waiting to be sacked, and then goes home and join forces with the Mount Kenya leaders who are against this regime, or he's being used by the government. And if he's being used, then after being sacked publicly, he'll gain public sympathy, and then we'll also have his own people, and then will be used to fight the Gachagua wave, because Gashagua's wave is growing very fast.
Oh, sure.
And you can see even in as much as he has tried and brought the people like Maina Njenga with him, he has even brought the former Uhuru guys in his cabinet. That wave is still growing.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe he would want to fight that wave from within the mountain.
Yeah, you know, the political sphere is full of propaganda. And here in Turning the Mirror, we give you a perspective that you get nowhere else. Thank you so much. Your host today is Owoth Kaboko, and
my name is Kwach.
Thank you.